So welcome back to the channel. This is After School Tutor with Mr. Sanchez here. If you like this type of content, you want to learn after school, which is what the channel is named about, then by all means subscribe, follow for more. What we're going over today is something called multi-step equations with integers. So I'll be going over the first three because I know this one can be daunting for a few, or for a lot of people honestly. And I'm going to show you the steps in which we're going to go about this. The one thing I want you to remember, and I'm going to write it over here in red, the opposite of adding is going to be subtracting. The opposite of multiplying is going to be dividing. And I will show you why this is going to be very important as I go through the problems. As well, what I always tell the students, put a line down the middle. That way you know what is what. Here, do not get scared about this. This is called distributive. So you distribute here, but keep this part together. So 3 times x is going to be 3x. 3 times a negative 4. Remember, you have a positive here, and you have a negative. When you multiply a positive and a negative, you're going to get a negative. So negative 12. Now you have your equals. 2 to here and 2 to here. Remember this together. 2 times negative 2x is going to be a negative 4x, because this is still positive, this is a negative, but this is all together. 2 times 1 is going to be a 2. I don't know why that line keeps popping up, I'll be honest with you. Next thing, I'm going to change it to blue here. We can either move the 3x, the negative 12, the negative 4x, and or the 2. I recommend moving this one first. Reason being is I don't want to mess with the ones with the variables just yet. I want to make sure that all the whole numbers are, or the constants, are already taken care of. So plus 12, because these do not have variables like here. So this cancels out. 2 plus 12 is going to be plus 14 because they're both positive. Let's move this down. You have a negative 4x equals, we can still keep that line coming down, 3x. Now we got this. What we're going to do next, I'll write it in green, is we're going to get rid of this negative 4x with a positive 4x because that'll cancel out, and we're going to move it over here. This cancels out. Let's put a line. This plus 14 or positive 14 is just going to stay that. We're going to put down the equals. We can continue the line. And now 3x plus 4x is going to be 7x. Remember this box that's here? What's the opposite of multiplying? When two numbers are like this, they're basically multiplying, like we showed up here. To get the opposite of multiplying, you gotta divide, right? So let's divide it by 7. 7 divided by 7 is going to be 1. Divide this by 7. Now you're left over here with x equals, because we never got rid of this equals, 14 divided by 7 is going to be 2. And that will be our answer. If you ever wonder if you are or not correct, this x value, plug it into this equation. So then you'll have 3 times 2, which is 6. 3 minus, or 3 times a negative 4 is going to be 12. So 6 minus 12 is negative 6. Over here, 2, and then you have this negative 2 times 2, which is a negative 4. Then you have a 2, so negative 8. 2 times 2 is plus 2. So you're going to come out with negative 6 on this side and negative 6. So your answer is correct. It is going to be this here. Oopsie. Okay. Next one. This one's already done for us. It's fairly easy to do. Line in the middle. Just remember, positive, negative, multiplying, dividing. This is the little square you want to keep with you over and over and repeat it. We can move the 14 first. So plus 14, plus 14. This cancels out. Now we got 4q. Put the line still. 6 plus 14 is going to be 20. add because there's nothing different there. And then 8q. Now, we're not going to move this one over here. Not going to do that either. We're going to move the 8q. So minus 8q. Should probably do a different color now. So now we have 20 because we're moving this piece down. This line still does not change. What is 4 minus 8? That's right, negative 4q. Remember, these are technically multiplying. It's like saying negative 4 times q, if you can read that q. Let's just do this, right? What is the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So to find out what this is, we divide by 4, negative 4. So we're going to divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, 20 divided by negative 4. If you want to figure out what is what, we have a negative, cross out the negative. Is 20 positive or negative? Positive. So what are we left with? A negative. So our answer is going to be negative 5 equals, I'll just put a capital this time. You want to figure it out, plug it in here, and you will find out that q is going to be negative 5. Now, I'll do this one due to the fact that this can be a little confusing. When you are looking specifically at this bottom half, this is dividing. Adding, subtracting, multiply, divide. Let's get that box again. This is dividing this. What we want to do is we want to multiply by this whole thing. So we're going to multiply by v plus 12. The reason why we do that is because technically this right here is like this, right? But this is taking the part of 1. I know it's getting a little confusing here, but trust me on this one. So to cancel these out, these are dividing. This is dividing this. This is multiplying. When you have this over this, they're both the same. It's like saying 1. Okay? So if these cancel out, now we got to multiply 9 by v plus 12. And that's going to equal v plus 4. Distribute again. So 9 times v is 9v. 9 times 12 is 108. V plus 4. I think it'd be a little better if we just subtracted 4. Subtracted 4. Now we got 104 equals v. And let's move this down to 9v plus, because 108 is obviously much bigger than 4. Now we subtract 9v, we subtract 9v. This is like having a small little 1. So 1 minus 9, what's that going to be? Exactly. So now we're at negative 8v equals, no, we didn't put that line. There you go. This cancels out. 104 equals negative 8v. These are multiplying again. All of this, it's like saying this. So we're going to divide by a negative 8. So now we have 104. Remember, I'm a math teacher. I'm not a magician, so I still got to do some math. The only reason why I'm leaving this out right now on this bottom piece is because, you know what, I'll leave it. How about that? Can 8 go into 10? I'm skipping the 1 because obviously 8 can't go into 1. But 8 can go into 10 one time. So 10 minus 8 is going to be 2. Let's move down the 4. Can 8 go into 24 3 times? And this is going to be a negative, because you have a negative here. You got a positive here. Remember that little box that we did? Negative, negative, positive. Negative right here. Cross it out. positive up here, cross it out, and we're left with this. So our answer for this top piece, even though I kind of went over this problem here, is going to be v equals negative 13. And that'll be your answer. V equals negative 13 right here. So this whole worksheet, I'm sure you can find it online. If not, I will link it in the description. Honestly, go for it. Do your best. It's not my worksheet, but I have helped out and used this for my students in my classes, and they've been doing awesome.